Alright guys, welcome to this video, my video. And in this video basically I'll be talking about how I passed my program challenge and the strategy I used, and how you can also use the same strategy to pass your own program challenge in no time. Alright, so this strategy basically is using the simple moving average. It's a very common indicator. Chances are that you've tried this indicator before, you used it in the past, and yeah, maybe you used it for a while and then you dropped it, and chances are that you still have this indicator in your trading arsenal. Basically, how you use the moving average is a bit different here. We're not looking for crossovers, and we are looking for a certain thing in your moving average. And the reason why I particularly like the moving average is because when the market is trending up, it is so obvious to see when the market is trending up. When the market is in range, it is so obvious to see when you're trading with the moving average. Now, the second indicator I use to pass my challenge is the Fibonacci extension, and I am particularly happy about this indicator because I use this indicator to manage my risk. Fibonacci extension is a great tool, and it has a lot of controversy about how it works, if it's even effective and all of that. But well, this video is basically about how I use it, and not about any of those controversies or things we can talk about later. So how do I enter trades? So for me, when I was taking my challenge account, and before I got my funded account, was pretty much about risk management. When you enter trades, when do you exit your trades, and what is your lot size, how much are you risking? For me, it was the $5,000 account, and I mostly traded 0.3 lots on each trade, right? So let's get into this strategy and how I use it particularly. So basically, what you're looking for again is not the moving average crossover, which is pretty much obvious. Chances are you've tried that before. You're basically looking for a certain thing. Right here we have the 50 moving average, which is the green one, and it's always far away from price. The greater the number, the further away you have the moving average. And then you have the one in orange, which is closer to price. That is the 20 moving average. Now, how do I use this how do I use it to enter trades? So I'm looking for the 20. For me to go long, I'm looking for the 20 to cross above the 50. Right, so I'm basically looking for an uptrend. When I have an uptrend on my chart, what I then do is I wait for price not just to retrace, but to retrace behind what we have here, which is the 50 moving average. I'm waiting for price to retrace behind it. Most of the time it might close behind the 50 moving average when you have an uptrend. Now, when price closes behind this right here, the 50 moving average right here, what I then wait for is it to reach a previous level. Now, a previous level of some will call it order blocks, right? For people who are trading smart money concepts, some call it demand zone, demand supply, and some just call it support, right? But basically a place where you've seen price structure change its formation. So here you have your price selling, right? You have your price selling, and then you have this big red candle, and then all of a sudden you get this sharp buy up, right? So it's basically market structure. You have your high and then your low. So this is a low, right? This is your high, and this is your low. So basically what you're waiting for is for price to retrace to a level like this where a sharp move occurred. Meanwhile, you have your uptrend, right? So it's retracing behind your 50 SME, and this is happening. Now what I do is I usually put a line on my chart at that level, right? I most especially like to use the week, right? That week, that last place where price reached, right? I most especially like to use that spot because it works well for me. Now what I do, how do I now enter my trade and how do I manage my trade? Now I bring in the Fibonacci extension, and I want, okay, I think I made some changes to this extension. Let's go back to default. Let's do default. How do we get back to default? Boy, I pretty much have no idea how to do this. I really have no idea how to change this back to default. Alright, so I'll just turn this back on. The levels, right? I'll buy it, everything, but it's usually 0.618, 0.5, 1.61801. I think we basically have even more than we need. We don't need 2.618, 0.7 not necessary. So okay, we don't need all of these ones down there. Okay, now my app is no longer responding. Okay, all right, so we're back. So basically what I am looking for every entry, or while I anticipate price to move back beyond, this might be a bit distracting, yeah. So while we're waiting for price to move back beyond the 50 SMA while it is going long, is we anticipate and we look for the 0.618 level, right? We set our price when we're going long, we are looking for the low, right? So we set our zero level to the low, which is right here. That is the lowest low, while where we have the structure is where we have the red line currently. So I put my 0.618 level just on the red line, right? That is where I enter my trade. I can put a pending order there, right? And my stop loss is always at the 0.5 level, right? So I put my stop loss where the 0.5 level is. This keeps moving around and it's a lot of information on the chart, but if you're listening, you definitely get the idea. 0.618 is the level for entry. 0.5 is where I exit my trade, right? And my zero level is where I definitely put my zero Fibo level extension. Therefore, making this trade a very, very sweet and easy one. Let's put in, so we go long at this level here. Go long at this level here, and then we take our profit where we have the one, right? The one of our Fibonacci extension. It's usually going to give you a 1:3 trade, right? It's always a bit higher, but it will give you a 1:3. So for you to reach 2% on that trade, you are getting 6% immediately for each win. So for every 2%, you are getting 6%. Now again, no strategy is 100%, right? And every strategy we'll definitely lose money, which is why we always manage our trades, which is why we do risk management and we have our stop loss. Now, I like the stop loss title because it gives me a big risk to reward ratio, and most of the time it works, and I pass my challenge in no time, right? I passed my challenge in no time, and I'm currently adding to my account now, and I'm taking other challenges, exploring even new strategies. I'm still trying to even explore more strategies to see what fits my style more. I'm currently looking at the ICT trading strategy mixed with this my strategy to even increase my win rates more. So this is how you enter trades. Now, for people who are looking to increase their stop loss in cases where they feel like my stop loss might be too tight, you might want to drop that to 0.382. In certain conditions I do that, but never ever beyond that. So ideally 0.5, and your take profit is at 1. I was super happy when I was trading this strategy because I literally was making money easily, and I passed my challenge, I think in 3 days, right? I passed the first phase in 3 days. The next one, it took me 5 days, yes, to pass both phase 1 and phase 2. Actually, it was that fast. Then I had to wait 10 days. My profile was is I'll put the link in the description. You can go check them out, and in 5 days, but you have to wait 10 days actually after passing before you get your first payout basically. So there is also the idea of continuation trades where you can enter. Although I did not do that, I barely did that. I just went in, took my profit, and I'm out. Right. So I didn't wait for price to go all the way up, right? But another way to manage, it's all about how you manage your trade, really. It's not just about the strategy. Yeah, strategy win rate is also very important, but what is the most important thing is your psychology and your psychology and your risk management, right? So another way you can do it, and something I've also learned in the past, is you can enter 2 trades, right? You can enter one where you take your profit at the one level, right? And you can enter a second one where when you hit the 0.7 level, right here, the 0.786 level, you move your trade straight to break even, right? Straight to break even. So you have 2 trades open, one straight to break even, and the second one as well straight to break even. Now, one is set TP at, you will set your TP at one level, and then the second you will set your TP at 1.6. Okay, so while you set your TP at, this is moving funny. Okay, yep. So at 0.5, 0. Here is your entry, here is my stop loss, and here is my TP2, right? This is your TP2, which is a whopping 1:9. So if you had risked, instead of risking my 2% on one trade, I will risk 1% at the first, and I risk another 1% at the second. So again, how you manage you enter at 0.618, you go for TP at 1, you go for break even at 0. When price hits your 0.7 level, 0.786 level, and you take your first TP at 1 and your second at 1.68, and with this one trade you would have passed your challenge. This is not the trade I took for myself, obviously, and this is me just going back in the chart to test how the strategy works. So let's look for another one, preferably one show you where you can also lose your money, which is why you always do your risk management, right, while trading this strategy. But the strategy works because 90% of the time when price retraces went to behind the 50 moving average, whether it's trending up or trending down, it will rebound or it will bounce back into, right? And learning to see this will definitely improve your trading game. I promise you, I learned to see structure better while trading this strategy. Now let's look for another place where this particularly did not work, right? So here we go. We have our level here. This is a strong level where price was moving up, right, and then it moved back down. So we would have our entry level on the week, which is here. This is the week, right? This is that week on this candle, this red candle, right? So let's get rid of it now that you've seen the candle. Yeah, so we have, okay, we need this one there, still need this one there. Yep, we have our entry here, right? And we wait, we wait for price to cross down because it says it's going down. As you can see, we have our cross. I'm looking for my cross here, but it's not okay. We can delete this. Yeah, I can get my cross here back. Yep. So we wait for price to come all the way here, right? And what do you see? Let's put our Fibo, right? This is the eye. We have our Fibo. So it will, because we want to sell now, it will be at the highest high that we can see, right? You don't have to nitpick and say, oh, just look for the highest high. Really, it's a numbers game. Trading is a numbers game. It's all about how you manage your risk and having a solid strategy. You are selling with the trend, right? You are looking for sales when the price really wants to sell, and you are entering at a zone where price is trying to buy. It's trying to spook people to say it's buying. So you're entering at a very, very liquid zone, right? So it's a very, very nice strategy. So we put our 0.618 at the red, right? Oh, so it actually worked again, yeah, right? Because you have your high there and then you have your 0.618 level, yeah. So what you're looking for now is your entry, and obviously this worked again. So it's how you trade this strategy, and you should take it and run with it. I know that it is mostly effective at the first crossover. So when price crosses over, the first crossover, whether down or up, that first major crossover, the first retracement out towards a major previous support, or some people call it supply, some people call it other block, like I said, right? That is how it works. So this as well is a swing trade, and just these two trades, you just passed your challenge. Time frame I use is 4 hours. I majorly use only the 4 hours because I didn't want to rush myself into like, oh, I just want to pass it fast. It's basically which one works. If this works, then it works. Then if that next trade doesn't work, then the other one will work. So you are not trying to scale down your risk. You basically want to go through this challenge fast, right? Because most of the time dealing with prop farm is a numbers game. You really don't want to buy one challenge and sit on it and say, oh, I'm trying to make sure I don't blow this, right? I'll tell you, most people that have passed their prop farm challenge failed a lot. I failed a couple of challenges, and I've realized it is when I got big on my trade management. I'm buying 2 challenges, I'm buying 3, I'm trading the strategy all on it, I'm getting my ROI back on 1, and it's enough for me to recover my losses and more, since I'm now funded and I keep trading on that account and I keep buying more challenges, right? That is how you make money off prop farm challenges. That is how you go about it, right? So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you've learned something. If you definitely enjoyed watching this video, please leave a comment, right? So that's it, your 0.5, which price was so close to, right? And if you're trading, please, because this strategy is very fast, you do not need a swap, an account that is swap free, right? Or account for swing traders, right? You want an account with your spread very tight, which is why I use Euro USD, right? Because my stop loss is usually very tight. I don't want my spread to interfere with my entry, and a trade that would have otherwise been profitable will now become a loss because I have tight spread. I have big spreads, right? So I want my spread to be very tight, very tight. So we're looking for a swap free account, right? I don't want to is it a swap free account? Yes, a swap free account, because the swap account is for swing traders, and you're looking to get your swap basically paid to you, right? So I'm sure some of you will understand what swap is, right? It's basically whether the interest that you get paid for holding a currency against another one, overnight, right? So sometimes it might be negative depending on what the currency is. So yeah, you get paid money actually, for just holding a position, whether long or sell, right? So your broker should usually have information on what interest. The same way you get paid interest on a savings account, you get paid interest for holding currency as well. So that's basically what your swap is, basically, right? So yeah, so that's basically it. So always make sure that your spread basically is tight. So look for an account with almost zero spread, right? So you have it's usually, like I said, it's usually a 1:3 at 1, right? And then you always set your trade to break even at 0.7. Immediately you hit 0.7 break even, whatever happens, and then if it goes your way, you take it at 1. And if you are willing to for your second trade, again you take it at 1.618, which at this point it did not hit that level. As you can see, it got really close to it, coming off the red candle here, right? It got really close to it, and it didn't hit it. So however you manage your trade, this might have gone back to break even, right? And that's a whooping. As usual, it would be 1:9, right? Yeah. So but at this point, before you even got here, I'm sure you would have passed your challenge. So in one trade you just passed your challenge, and at this point you would have maybe exited when you passed your first phase, and you wait for your second trade. So same thing, price crosses up, you wait for it to go below the moving average, while you have your major support close to it, which you don't have any major. You didn't even go outside of it here, so you go on to the next one, right, where it crossed up, let it come. That didn't happen, so you wouldn't have taken part in the trade here. So it crossed up down to a major level. This looks like a major level. This right here looks like a major level, right? Because price was going up and made an indecision candle right here in between before it decided to now go up. So maybe you want to use this candle or not, right? But the first retracement towards that major level, right? So this would have also been a win if you are taking that. And then you're looking for the first, just the first, right? The first cross down back to the major level, right? The first one that goes to the major level, and you have your cross down, then cross up. So you wouldn't have taken this trade in particular because price later crossed down, right? So you want it when it is crossing in the direction that you want to trade. You only enter when it is the moving average is in the direction you want to take. I hope this video has been of help to you to pass your preference challenge. And again, leave a like, leave a comment, and then check out the platform as well, right? Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to share more trading tips with you in the future. If this has been helpful to you as well, please leave a comment as well. And if you'd like to see me trade this live as well, right, I love all the engagement I can get. Thank you.